Guys, I am back with another video. Hold on, let me just get my shirt up. But today I was like, hold on, let me go move this back. Let me go move this back now. Today I was just like, why not we talk about Iketchi and Also, I am behind on schedule when it comes to like reviewing my reality shows, because I need to review Love is Blind Germany. And I think I'm gonna do like another part of like, no, actually I don't wanna do that, but I need to review Love is Blind Germany. But I have so much to talk about when it comes to Married at First Sight. Juan and Carla, I mean David and Madison, I mean and Iketchi. But today I'm gonna mainly be talking about Iketchi and because what was that? It was giving abuse. It was giving like abusiveness on both parts of people's ends. It was giving abusiveness on MM's part, and it was giving abusiveness on Iketchi's part. Like, what is wrong with them two? I think that they give a toxic black couple. They both give a toxic black couple. Like, I do not know how to put the words, but this is one of the most toxic couples I have ever seen on kinetic content history, between Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, Married at First Sight. And I have lots of words. I'm just like, Iketchi, like, who hurt you? And for me, it's giving that like Iketchi, he is really sensitive. I'm gonna just put it right there. Iketchi, he is really sensitive. Like, Iketchi, who hurt you? It's giving that this man is Iketchi. He is so sensitive, and I feel like I have to say this, but like Iketchi, he was one of the reasons why I do not date black men. Iketchi is one of the reasons why I don't date black men. Simply, oh my God, I think my ring light is dead. But simply due to the fact that like a lot of black men are actually aggressive, and they don't make a good partner when it comes to like being in a relationship. Yeah, my camera's dead. But anyways, they do not make a good partner when it comes to being in a relationship. I do not know what it is, but they just do not make a good partner when it comes to being in a relationship. And Iketchi, like, he is one of the reasons why I don't date black men. I don't date black men. I don't date black men. Like, black men, they are selfish as hell. They are like selfish as hell. But I feel like that like when Iketchi told that she was aggressive, like I think it was either last episode or the episode before that, I think Iketchi was right. And I think that when we saw this episode, like when they were at the dinner table and Iketchi came to the dinner table and you had everybody coming for Iketchi, I feel like that the edit is purposely giving Iketchi a bad edit. Like, I feel like that the cameras are purposely giving Iketchi a bad edit. I'm gonna start off with like the whole picnic scene. So with like the whole picnic scene, it seemed like when they were like on their anniversary, and then is like, oh, it seems like we're in a rocky start, and then like Iketchi's like, yeah, I know. I don't know. Iketchi just still could not get along with and I think that like Iketchi is really hurt, and he does not want to communicate anything. He doesn't want to communicate anything, and he is choosing the route to be passive aggressive rather than just like talking it out with his partner and being like, hey, I'm really hurt. But for me, it's just like, Iketchi, why are you still staying if you feel hurt and belittled? And I feel like that Iketchi, like, he was not on Married at First Sight for the right reasons. Mind you, on this episode had to say, like, Iketchi applied for the show twice. Like, this guy, he applied for the show twice. And so for me, it's given that this guy is just not on the show for the right reason, because this guy can't even communicate. I mean, it took him 2 times to go apply to the show. I think he applied for, like, the Houston season, and then, like, when he was in Chicago, he applied again for the Chicago season. And for me, it's given that this guy, like, just wanted to be on a national television show super bad, and he's trying to make out a big scene. Like, he's trying to make out a big scene for the cameras. And even when, like, Iketchi and they were in the apartment, and you had like Iketchi, like you had being like, oh my God, look at our wedding day, and she was like, you know, looking through the book, and then like Iketchi, and then was just like, oh, so like how we're like, she asked him about the vows, and then Iketchi like gave a response. I don't remember what the response was, and then like was just like, that was just like, I need more to the response. Like, I need more to the response. And so I think Iketchi just gave like a nonchalant answer when asked him a question, and Iketchi just gave a nonchalant answer. And then Iketchi was like yelling and being like, yeah, when I say these vowels or whatever like that, when I say these vowels, like I said those vowels, like those are the same vowels. Like he was trying to like prove his point, and like he was getting really pissed off at in the shared apartment. And then Iketchi, like he just ends up like going home, and then she ends up like going to the bathroom and she's just crying. I'm just like, this is not a real couple. And so I feel like that, like Iketchi, like he kind of feels hurt by and he does not want to communicate that. Like he has not been wanting to communicate with her at all. And for me, I'm kind of scared for because I'm just like, I feel like that even despite what these two have been through, like despite what has been through with Iketchi, is still going to go through with this whole situation. Is going to still go through the marriage despite what Iketchi did to her. But I feel that there's just something wrong on her part too. But I feel that they could just work through the situation. And then when it comes to like the dinner table, I mean, before they were like going to dinner, like they were gonna go to dinner and like go out to eat. They were gonna take a limo, and so I think Madison, she came by herself on the limo because David had to work. And then you had who else? You had come to the limo by herself as well. And, she was even saying, like, I've tried texting Iketchi and he hasn't answered. I've tried communicating with him and he hasn't answered also. Iketchi has been calling a lot of inappropriate words, which for me, I'm just like, what? Like, I think Iketchi, he got some serious mental issues that like he needs to work on. This guy got like serious mental health issues that he needs to work on. I think like that this guy, Iketchi, he did not take the work of going to therapy before this show. And so like she's on the limo by herself. And so like is like explaining like what's happening between her and Iketchi. And then she's like, oh my God, like my man, like, he left me. Everyone's kind of shocked. Like is telling everybody like the whole situation between her and Iketchi, and everyone is just shocked on the limo. They're all just like, oh wow. And then they're at the dinner table, and like is like commenting on like how she's been feeling about Iketchi, like how hard it has been for her. And then she, I think, was also saying like, Iketchi was kind of like, Iketchi's claiming to like I touched him inappropriately, and I'm just like, so is Iketchi. I'm so sorry, y'all. Anyways, I am back. But yeah, what was I saying? I just feel like that. Oh yeah, so yeah. You have saying like, Iketchi is saying like, I touched him in the private part. Like we've been through a lot in Mexico. She's saying so basically, has been opening up a lot about Iketchi. And yeah, like it's a lot. It's a lot. And so you have opening up at the dinner table, like, what has like Iketchi has done to her. And it's giving that like Iketchi does not really love this woman, or this guy, he is really jealous of this woman, or like this guy, he does not have his own identity. And it's giving that like this guy has anger issues and like he just doesn't get along with people. And I don't know if Iketchi's a Virgo man, because I've said a lot about Virgo men when it comes to reality TV. Like they are ruthless. Virgo men, when it comes to dating in general, they are ruthless as hell. And so for me, like Iketchi, like he's a lot. Like he has a lot of self-work to do. And so I think eventually Iketchi comes late to dinner table and everyone's just like, oh my God, hi. And you have surprise faces and everyone's just like, are you okay? Everybody has been asking him questions, and the questions like seem a little bit hostile when everyone's asking Iketchi's questions. And for me, I kind of, maybe you guys might disagree with me, but like, I'm just like, why are you guys coming so hard for Iketchi when he came late to the dinner table, when it's like not even your situation? Like, focus on your partner. You had Alan, like, you had Alan asking like Iketchi, like, is this a partner that you really want to be with? Like Alan was being harsh on Iketchi. You had Juan being like, guys, like, just try to be positive. And then you had literally having to direct her anger towards Juan and be like, well, hold on for a second. I've texted this guy nonstop. This guy has called me multiple bad things. Like, you don't see like what I've been through, so it's hard not to. So basically, was trying to prove her point to Juan, like, hey, no, like, I'm not gonna be positive because this man has done super bad things to me. And I think she was right. And so Juan, I think it was very messed up for Juan to like be questioning and being like and be saying like, like why don't you just be positive, like it's hard. You also had David like chiming in and being like, like maybe you guys need to like work it out. Like you had David chiming in and being harsh on both MM and Iketchi. Then you also had that other black dude who's with the light skinned black girl with like the curly hair also like chiming in. So everyone was just chiming in. And so eventually, like when Juan took the last word and was like, okay, I think you guys could just be positive, like just try to be positive, just try to be enlightenment. I kind of laughed when I was watching this last night. I laughed when I was watching this last night, but you had MM literally like have to like yell across the table and be like, you know what, this guy has done a lot to me. And then Emma was like, I've been through a lot. Like Emma was trying to prove her point. So Emma gets really frustrated. And then I think Emma was just like, clown, you gonna get a like, clown, you want to be a clown. I think Emma gets upset at, Iketchi, because Iketchi like kind of like denies like getting text messages from MM, and then you have MM walk away to the bathroom and be like, you know what, clown, you're gonna get a circus. You got all the women like, trying like, comfort MM in the bathroom. You got and then MM is just like, oh my God, like this marriage has been hard for me. Like this kind of ruined my marriage. Like this guy, like you even had, I think you even had like somebody say like, oh, Iketchi, he's a con artist. Iketchi, this guy's a con artist. And you had Iketchi like trying to like apologize to like some of the guys. It was just a hot mess. Like that alone was just a hot mess. And you had everyone trying to like, comfort Emma in the bathroom. Emma was expressing how like hard this has been for her in the bathroom, mind you. Emma was beautiful. I'm just like, wow, like a beautiful black woman. She got scammed. On the show. Like it reminded me of Love is Blind. When like black women, they get scammed on the show, when they get their marriage woman on the show. Like I think, who Emma reminds me of? MM reminds me of Aaliyah from Love is Blind season 5 when like she got played by Uche and Uche was gaslighting her. I think Uche from Love is Blind and Iketchi, they're the same man. Iketchi and Uche, put them in one room, they will vibe greatly together. Uche and Iketchi, same dude. Like literally same man. Like they are both the same man, because the way how like Iketchi seems to be much of a gaslighter as well. Like Iketchi just gives this, like Iketchi just is always his way or the highway when he communicates. Like it's just always his way or the highway. And you have MM like giving him the right to like communicate, and Iketchi he doesn't want to communicate at all. Like he does not want to communicate at all. And so then what kind of shocked me too was that like after this whole scene, you got Iketchi who like goes home, he packs up his stuff, and like during this scene he says like, you know what, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this. And I think he was also talking to someone, and then after that he was like saying like, I can't be with someone who like, belittles me, who like makes me feel small, who's who's aggressive. And when he mentioned like someone who belittles me, I feel like that maybe is MM a little bit like too much for Iketchi, and is Iketchi overly sensitive by MM? Maybe MM could like say things that are like, passive aggressive. Maybe MM has like a bad tone, because a lot of people like they will come off as like rude when they talk, and the other person will get like literally irritated or like easily offended by that, to the point where like they need to like kind of just like prove their case and just overreact, like to the point where they need to overreact and like prove their case. Like they need to prove their case and like just overreact. So for me it comes to a point where it's just like, I mean, I feel like that this guy, they like these two, they are not right for each other. But I think that like, I feel like that Iketchi and MM, they might stay married for a long time, because when I was watching the previews, it was giving me like Emma was gonna still marry this guy. Like Iketchi was just like, oh my God, in the previews, Iketchi's like, oh, will you like marry me? Like it seemed like that, like, they kind of work through things when I watched the previews. But I'm just like, from what I saw like right now, I feel like that like Iketchi, he is just way too immature for this show. I was just like, what did I see? Like, what did I just witness? What did I just watch? And for me, it's given that like Iketchi, he is just too immature to be on this type of television. And so I think Iketchi, he is a con artist. Like, I don't think he wanted to come on the show for the right reason. I think he just came on the show for like just because. Like, he came on the show just because I think that Iketchi, he has stuff deep inside of him that he needs to work on, rather than like lashing out on him. And also during that whole scene, I think Iketchi had left for the night, and then MM was like looking at the apartment, and she was like, okay, you know what, the air fryer is still here, but like his clothes are gone, like the closet is empty. So I think like MM, like she's really suffering. She's really suffering right now in the situation. Like, she's really suffering in this marriage. And I'm just like, I don't know if MM or Iketchi, I think also MM is really, I think MM might be aggressive too. I think MM really might be doing some stuff though too behind the scenes towards Iketchi though. I feel like that like MM, she might be also like kind of like maybe treating Iketchi wrong behind the scenes as well. So I think they're trying to give Iketchi a bad edit and give MM as the woman like a good hero edit. And I think that we're not seeing what maybe Iketchi has been going through with MM that maybe might be wrong on her part. And it's like, it's kind of like, okay, it's giving one side, like it's giving like, okay, MM is like such a good person, and then Iketchi's just crashing out. And so I'm just like, if we could just get an interview of like Iketchi explain like what happened behind the scenes. What happened behind the scenes for you to get this upset at MM? What happened behind the scenes for you to like blow this much at MM and stuff like that, when MM was like looking at her looking at like the wedding photos, and like you were like, you know, yelling at her about like the vows, like what is really going on behind the scenes between these two? I think like these two are just a huge, just a big, like just a huge toxic, like they are just both toxic. Like for me, I can't really take sides in this situation. I'm just like, I feel like that they are just both toxic. Anyways, that is what I had today. That is it for today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, and also hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye bye.